Good everyone, you're welcome to the Ambassadors Show, streaming live on Zoom and broadcast worldwide on Fegocam TV and the Daring TV. Inspiring conversation that transform mind, ignites purpose, and shape the future of kingdom-driven leadership and enterprise. I'm your host, Boniface Omozwapo, and on this platform, we connect with visionary leaders, entrepreneurs, and professionals who are making real impact, not stories, making real impact, building businesses and organizations that truly create wealth, solve problems, and glorify God. So wherever you are joining us from today, Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, Mozambique, the UK here, or anywhere across the world, we want to encourage you to settle in for another enlightening edition of the Ambassadors Show. So let's dive in. We're going to go straight to today's discussion. All right, we have someone that is loaded with wisdom, and it's an honor to know Professor Joseph Chinze Ibekwe. I hope I pronounced that Chineze Ibekwe, a Nigeria-born philosopher, journalist, author, leadership educator, and social entrepreneur. He's a man, he's an octopus, he's a man of many fingers. He's just there. Uh, he started a school of thought called Fledism. I hope I pronounced that. So he's going to explain that to us later today and on leadership philosophy. Is a communication consultant, a magazine publisher, and author of several books with over 35 years combined professional experience. And it's also doing its organization is doing a lot in Africa. And I believe they're also going global. It's going to be telling us what they are celebrating. When I discovered that they are 3 decades into existence, I was like, wow, this is serious. And so we're going to be learning that from Professor Joseph today. Is the president and founder of the FLED Group Africa, which comprises a number of social enterprise organizations committed to promoting sustainable human development in Africa. Is also the lead coach at the Joseph Coaching International, born November 12th, 1964, in a small village called Ezegbongum. I'm not, let me just say, in Mbise, Imo State, Nigeria. So when it comes, he's going to try and explain all those ones to us. He's going to see, we're going to learn that from him. And when he starts speaking, and so he's got so many part of him. That's the truth. He's a man of God. He's an entrepreneurship expert. He's a leadership coach, and he's doing awesome things in Nigeria and across the African continent. He runs the People and Power program. I think People and Power and the conference and summit across Africa. And so it is a great pleasure for us to be hosting someone as important as Professor Joseph today. And so without taking more of your time, we're going to go straight to our discussion for today. Professor Joseph, it's nice to have you on board. How are you doing today, sir?
Oh, fantastic. Such a pleasure to be with you and all our guests. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So I want to go straight to the point. And Professor Joseph, you have spent decades shaping leaders. Can you share a brief journey of how the FLED Leadership Institute began and what inspired its creation?
Okay. Well, the thing is that I'd like to start FLED. What does FLED represent? FLED is actually an acronym which called Foundation for Leadership and Education Development. It's an organization we founded in 1995, and our mandate, our vision was to promote leadership development through educational approach. Using education to promote leadership education. And then from there, that's why we have FLEG Group Africa. There are different segments that have been born, as it were, over the years through the different activities that we have. Foundation for Leadership and Education Development is the mother organization and has given birth to other ones, including FLED International Leadership Institute, Africa Center for Public Leadership,
Wow.
and Future Magazine, and other organizations I would not like to mention here for now.
Okay.
But that is why all of them have combined to have what we call FLED Group Africa. Each of them are doing different things in different platforms for different people, all within the ecosystem of social entrepreneurship.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Because there's so many parts to you, and that is why we want to ask this question. As a minister of the gospel and leadership coach, how have your faith experience influenced your leadership philosophy? We're going to be Mr. We're going to be okay. The network is coming. We hope Mr. Okay, thank you. Welcome back. So I don't know if you heard what we just the other question I asked. Can you hear me clearly, Professor Joseph?
I can hear you. I can hear you. Yes.
Okay, so I want to find out as a minister of the gospel, because I also know you're a pastor. Is that not you pastor a church too in Africa?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, so as a pastor and a leadership coach, can you tell us how have your faith actually influenced your leadership philosophy? I think this will give you the opportunity to talk about your school of thought, your Fledism or something. It's
Well,
not so bad.
leadership is God is the author of leadership. And leadership is basically to harness human resources and energy and make sure that they serve God's purpose, which is to make sure that society is well organized, human resources are managed, and material resources are managed for the benefit of humanity. The truth is that human beings is the crown of God's creation. Everything is about revolves around God, making sure that people are happy, comfortable, and enjoy life. So that's what leadership is all about. So being a minister and a leadership coach, a leadership consultant, a leadership teacher is about doing one thing.
Please, can you unmute? Okay, just unmute, please.
Okay, so
Okay.
I will explain that being a minister and a leadership teacher is the same thing because God is the author of leadership. Jesus is the ultimate leader. And the purpose of leadership is to ensure that human beings have the best of life, the best of opportunity. So anyone who is also in public leadership must have that concept of seeing that people have the best of opportunity, harness their potential, or rather maximize their potential, and make contribution to society. So that's my faith has influenced my understanding about leadership, the practice of leadership, and all of that. So it's one thing, and that's what has influenced the concept, the new leadership philosophy that we are brought to the public space for interrogation, for accentuation, for So it's called Fledism.
Okay.
Fledism, Fledism is a new leadership school of thought, philosophical leadership thought, and it says that the primary purpose of leadership is to enhance the quality of human life,
Okay.
and everything revolves around that. And this new philosophy is a little bit different from the conventional leadership philosophies, whether it is called it a Plato's philosopher king leadership philosophy, whether it is Ubuntu leadership philosophy, whether it is Confucianism leadership philosophy, whether it is ethical leadership philosophy, whether it is servant leadership philosophy, whether it is transformational leadership philosophy. All of these philosophies I've talked about now, they are leader centered. They are leader focused in the sense that talk about what the leader must do and what the qualities of a leader, the characteristics of a leader, and all of that. Why those things are good, Fledism takes a detour. Fledism goes beyond whether the leader is charismatic, whether he's visionary. Why those things are important? The essence of being visionary, the essence of being charismatic, the essence of being humble and all of that is to ensure that you use all those attributes and characteristics to improve the quality of human life. So the Fledism is trying to say, look, why these things are good. It is the impact of leadership on people that matters, not whether the leader is charismatic or not, even though it is good to be charismatic. So Fledism is going beyond being leader centric to being people centric.
Oh,
So
so
we are promoting, yes, being people centric. That impact of leadership must be the measurement of leadership impact has to be on people, not on the leader. Leader cannot say he has done well. It is the quality of life, how people's life has moved from ground 0, 5, 10 to 20. That is how you measure that the leader has done well.
Oh, that's
So
lovely.
Fledism, yeah, Fledism is a concept that compares and contrasts with all this existing leadership philosophy. It does not discountenance them, but it goes a little higher above them. That is the philosophy we call Fledism.
Thank you so much for sharing that wisdom. We truly appreciate that. Thank you so much. So, what I want to find out is that I noticed you've written a lot of books. You're reading a lot of books, and you've
Yeah,
written books like either I've seen in politics is kingdom business. What
that's
person?
it.
Okay, that's lovely. Politics is kingdom business. You're going to, before the end of this program, we hope you're going to tell our audience how they can get that book. That's a lovely book to get to read. I've read it
Yeah.
myself. Now, what personal conviction drove you to write on the intersection of faith and politics?
You see, one more time, you see, when I began, I said leadership, God is the author of leadership. And public leadership, something it has to do with politics. Many Christian people confuse politics and leadership and say politics is dirty, is unclean, it is for people who are not straightforward and all of that. Now, they say that because of their understanding about politics, their concept of politics. Politics simply has to do with two things. One, the 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 struggle for power. That's number one. Number two is the contest for management of resources, public resources. Who has control of it? Who shares it? Who has access to it? And who uses it? So the question is, I'm a child of God. My father is the owner of all things. Now, if I'm not interested in the resources of my father, the resources he has put in place, how it is managed, how it is administered, how it is used for public good. If I'm not interested, then I must be an irresponsible child.
Wow, that's
So
serious.
politics, yes, politics is a platform that enables us to, have access to public resources and use those public resources to ensure that society is managed better. Unfortunately, because of our academic definition of politics, because those who taught them politics in schools taught it to them as it must be do or die, fight and get it. When you get it, use it for yourself and use it for your cronies. So because of that concept, where people do everything to have access to that public leadership, because of what they do, and a Christian person feels that doing that is wrong, just that particular thing that politicians do is what makes Christian people to say politics is not good. Now the
Okay.
question is, if politics is not good, why are people dying to enter into it? Why
maybe,
are politicians? Yes,
maybe
if
for
it's
selfish
not good,
reason.
yes. So that's part of it. So that's it.
Oh, thank you so much. Because I truly believe I'm in total agreement with you because I believe that politics drives policies and policies influences the destinies and lives of people. So
Absolutely.
if you are interested in the outcome or the quality of life of any given people, you need to know that it's driven by policies and politics drive policies. So that is why I'm 100% with that. I tell people you've got to be involved in politics one way or the other. Either you are running for an office or you are determining who gets there because you need to be fully involved. You cannot be out of politics, or else you're just going to you have no right to complain. If you're not involved in politics, you don't have the right to complain. So it's either
Yeah.
you are being voted for or you're voting for someone, but you've just got to be involved in politics one way or the other. So I want to thank you for sharing that wisdom, sir. Now, your book, Politics is Kingdom Business, Challenges Traditional Thinking. Um,
Yep.
why do you believe that Christians should engage with governance and politics? I know it's part of what we just shared, but from the book, what can you give us maybe a quick one why you think Christians should be involved in engage in governance and politics?
Because politics is a kingdom business.
Okay.
Because politics is for everyone. In fact, politics is everybody's business. Everybody is a politician. It's just that people don't know. The thing is that, as I said, politics in the public space is about who has access to public resources and administers that public resource. My father, your father, the maker of heavens and the earth, is the owner of all things. So if he's the owner of all things, why should we not be involved in managing his resources? The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof belongs to our Father. If it belongs to our Father, how is it that we now say we can no longer be part of those who manage what belongs to our Father? So it's a very simple logic. Now, the question is, how do you now enter? That's why you now come to be taught how to enter, because over the years, the people who don't have fear of God have been at the center stage. They have established themselves. They have known how the system works for their own good. So if you now want to enter it, you need to be taught how to enter that terrain, to navigate that terrain, to be successful in that terrain, and know what to do there. After all, Jesus told us something. He says, you see, he's sending us into the world. And what did he say? Be as wise as a serpent and as harmless as a dove. Now, he sent us into the world. So you need, if you want to be involved in politics, you need to have a certain level of serpentine wisdom. Serpentine
Okay, what
wisdom.
is serpentine wisdom? Can you throw more light on that? Maybe just few seconds.
It is not something I can easily clarify here, because I've written something about, but it tells you that, look, that terrain is a convoluted environment. You know, a serpent is a convoluted animal. He's subtle. He's wise. His ways are not straight. In that environment, you need to know how to navigate that convoluted environment. The political space is a place of gray. It's not a place of black or white, right or wrong. It's a place of gray. So you need wisdom to navigate that gray environment. That's what Jesus was saying. You need serpentine wisdom, the wisdom that enables you to move like this without losing your way. So you need to understand it. And unfortunately, people bring in the church, it is either black or white. That's the way we are trained. But when you come into the world, it is not either black or white. So why Christians miss it is that they bring the black or white concept of righteousness and unrighteousness to the direct public space, and it doesn't work. So they miss it.
Okay,
So
okay.
that's why you need to be taught how to now navigate that environment. When Jesus made that statement, he did not sit down to explain it. So you need to now understand the mind of the person who made that statement. What does it mean that you need to be as wise as a serpent? He did not explain it. Now somebody has to explain it to you.
Okay, that's good. That's a deep one. Thank you for sharing that wisdom. Now, most people are afraid, and I've run for election myself, and I noticed that most people are scared because of their belief, either they are Christians, Muslims, or any religion they practice. And so you want to ask, one question is that, how can a believer, a person of faith, maintain godly influence while navigating the complexities and compromises of political leadership?
It's not too complex. If everything is about understanding, you say, in all thy getting, get wisdom, get understanding. Many Christian people do not understand politics. They are afraid. They deal with politics from the platform of fear, not platform of understanding. When you have understanding, there are dirty things in politics that must be done, and they are not unrighteous before God. Because
Okay,
kings can kill. So you cannot say because you're a Christian, when there's time to kill somebody, you not kill the person. You're not killing the person because you don't like them. But if you're a king and somebody does something wrong, you kill the person. Yeah, that's it.
that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
Yeah. Now,
Okay,
if you don't understand how it works, for
okay, I get,
example,
I get your point. I do.
yeah,
But you
someone
can,
said that politics requires blood, power requires blood, and that's the truth. Without blood, there's no power. Now, you ask yourself, what kind of blood do you need? We have the blood of Jesus that you use to cover yourself when you enter politics, and you must have it strongly in it. Now, these other people need blood also to sustain themselves. That's why they do sacrifices. All over the world, that is the way it operates. Everywhere in the world, you need blood to be in power. It's not whether it's in Africa, in Europe, everywhere in the the word, there's power. You
Okay, you
need
know what?
blood.
I'm going to say we're going to make a no disclosure. What is it called? Uh, you know what? That is okay, sir. We are going deep, and that is okay. I understand what you're trying to say because power is connected to sacrifice, and that is the truth. You can't attain power without some level of sacrifice.
That's
If
the truth.
if you're unwilling to sacrifice something, you can't get power. Power is connected to sacrifice, and it could be and when we talk about blood, not necessarily physical blood, your
Yeah.
you sacrifice your time, yourself, your time, your energy. And so for people that just want to be given power without sacrifice, you're joking, you're a joker. You can't get power that way.
Absolutely.
And
You pay
so
price for it.
yeah, so that's true. It's self-deceit. And so we want to say thank you for that. So for in your own words as a leadership coach, what does ethical and value-driven leadership plays in transforming nations like Nigeria, Ghana? Let's use Nigeria, for instance, where you are based.
I know, but he'll be back. I think teaching leadership with leadership has a spirit, leadership has a soul.
Okay, you're supposed to give him direct, right?
And we say
No, no.
the spirit of leadership.
Sorry, sir, you can unmute yourself.
Yes, we said that leadership has a spirit, leadership has a soul, and leadership has a body, which we call the trinity of leadership.
Okay.
Now, the spirit of leadership is vision, values, and passion. Now, let me explain the spirit of leadership. Values is what drives the pursuit of vision. For example, everybody who wants to be in politics or wants to be, let's say you have a vision to be a millionaire. Now, you can be a millionaire by doing anything. You can become an armed robber. You can become a thief. You can become a businessman who does things right. That is the vision. Now, it is your value that determines how you pursue that vision. So when we talk about ethical leadership, it means that somebody who has vision must have certain values, godly values, ethical values, things he can do, things he cannot do just because he want to get it. Those who don't have the fear of God do whatever. You know, there's a principle they say the end justifies the means. Now, that is the worst concept that anybody can bring into public leadership. It is not just about how you get it. It's not just about getting it. How you get it is important. And that's where ethics comes in. As a
Okay.
person who wants to get into public leadership, you must have ethical values, things you can do and things you cannot do just because you want to have it.
Wow.
So in Africa, as we say, most people, what drives many people here is the principle of the end justifies the means, which means whatever they do to get it is not as important as, in other words, how they get it is not as important as the fact that they got it, which
Okay.
is very, how they got it is not as important as the fact that they have got it.
Yeah.
So getting it is not important. So for us, when you talk about ethical leadership, we are saying how you get it is also important as getting it, which means the process is so important of getting it. It is values that drive the process you follow, the pathway you follow. It is your values that determine what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do because
Wow.
you want to get it. So because you want to do the right thing, sometimes it may take you longer time, longer process, because the system is embedded in doing the wrong thing to get it. So ethical leadership, ethical values is so important for public leadership. But the truth is, the majority of people don't follow that process.
Wow. Wow. Okay, that's true.
Process, yeah, the process they follow is the end justifies the means. But as Christian people in politics, we don't buy that value. The end does not justify the means. The means is as important as the end.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for sharing that. Thank you so much. Now we
Yeah.
need to something we discover in few days' time. You'll be celebrating. I think this year you're celebrating 3 decades. Your institute is celebrating 30 years in existence. Now, so over the last 3 decades of leadership development, what have been some of the toughest challenges, and how did you overcome them as an institute? Hello, Fled, did you get the question? I said,
No, I think
over 3 decades of leadership development, what have been some of the toughest challenges and how did you overcome them as an institute?
the toughest challenge is not getting the support that you need and being tempted to do the wrong thing to get it.
Wow, wow, wow. That is just being sincere.
Yes. You want to have it, everybody is having it, but you ask yourself, must you have it because everybody is having it? Must you do it the way they're doing it because you want to have it to show off? It's a very difficult thing. You can have the question again is that who are you doing it to impress? We are on a kingdom mission. We are not here to impress the public. We are not here to be seen as no. We are here. We are sent by somebody. And the person who sent us has values. He has standards. He has what he expects us to do. So we must have to follow him. It may be difficult, but the truth is, we cannot just do it because people are doing it. So it's very difficult, very challenging.
Wow.
But you must know who sent you.
That's interesting. Yeah.
The person who sent you has values. He has standards. So if you really want to do what he sent you, you must go back to his standards. Either you're doing his standard or do your way. So it's choice. You've got to make that choice. And for every choice you make, there's a consequence.
That is true. That is so true. So I want to ask this very personal question. Can you share a defining moment when your faith carried you through a major setback in your career?
Wow. You see, the thing is that in my career, I have had many setbacks. It's been a ups and down, up and down. And the reason is that sometimes you're almost at the peak of getting something, and someone out there asks you to do something you don't want, and you don't want to do, you lose it. And then you come back to square one. So my faith has been so challenged in the public space because you refuse to do what the system wants you to do. So opportunities have been lost because you didn't want to do what they wanted you to do. But then we remain focused, we remain committed to what we are doing because we know that the person who sent us, he has a way of giving us victory, even it is towards the end of life. So that's it. My faith has been the most sustaining factor for me. Incidentally, as I said, it is that same faith that sustains us in health and in sound mind up to today for the work that we do.
Wow, this is interesting. Thank you for sharing that because most people that are people of faith find it difficult to survive in what they call the secular world. I, for one, do not believe in secularity. I believe that every work for me is sacred. Anything I do it as unto the Lord. And that is my perception about work. I believe work is worship. I believe in the Avoda protocol. Your work is an act of worship. So I don't use the word secular job, but when people say that, I understand what they're trying to say. But for me, I believe that we are Christians 247. We manifest, our values manifest in our career and our businesses, and that is how it should be. And we must not be apologetic about that. I run an academy here in the UK, but I don't pretend about my faith. This is who I am. This is what defines me. This is my foundation, and we are proud to say that. And so it is important. So I want to ask this question. How do you balance running a global leadership institute? Because FLED is big. Most people are hearing, but FLED is a big thing. FLED, I've been to your conferences in Abuja twice. And so how do you manage a Global Leadership Institute? Writing, you're an author, and you are also a minister of the gospel without losing focus. How do you manage all this together?
Thank you so very much. The thing is, I'm doing only one thing.
Okay, you're doing one thing. Okay,
the only thing is I'm doing from different platforms.
Okay, okay.
So, as I said, leadership is my life. Is what I dream, is what I think, is what I study, is what I talk about. So even if I come to church, we teach people how to become God's people, to lead. We are created to lead. just okay, we run a non-governmental organization. We don't define our non-governmental organization as non-profit. We don't use that expression in our work. No. Because the Bible tells me that in every labor there's profit. How can you tell me the organization is non-profit? No, we don't use that phrase to define our work. We say we are a people benefit organization. People benefit organization, not non-profit organization, because they talk about non-profit in terms of money and all of that, but we are not just here for money. So it's important to understand concepts and to use divine concept to explain what you're doing. So we run what we do globally, because thank God for the age of internet. As I'm in my office right now, you're interviewing me. So, and we can be in one place and do what we call stationary missionary. One place reaching the whole world. So it is no longer as difficult as it used to be in the 1990s when there was no internet. So all we need to do, develop our courses and then deliver them either from here, or we travel if we're invited to make presentations and people get on board, and that's it. It's easier to become global now than it was in the 1990s for anybody who knows what they're doing.
Wow, thank you for sharing that. I love the fact that you say you are doing just one thing, but in different platform. And that was just the best way to answer this question. Every platform is just you manifesting yourself, the same person, the same teacher, using different platforms to teach leadership. And that is awesome. So what practical advice do you have for emerging leaders who feel called to influence in politics, business, and society while staying faithful to their faith?
Very important question. Number one, personal discipline. Personal discipline. And then 3 important things. Control your appetite. Your appetite for public applause. Appetite for you want people to see you. Your appetite for money. You need money. So personal discipline is the first thing. Then your values must be grounded in God. You must have godly values that are unshakable, that you won't allow the circumstances to push you out of it. You will pay price for it. You must pay price for it, but you must be persuaded beyond measure that this is what is right for you. If you can hang in here, personal discipline. Number 3 thing is that you must learn to be patient with yourself. You see, people talk about patience in terms of other people. You must, first of all, learn to be patient with yourself before you can be patient with other people. Patient with yourself, because the things you're doing, you start doing. You're going to see people who started today and move faster, either because they have better resources, they have better connections, so they can move faster than you, because probably you don't have the connection that they have, you don't have the resources that they have. If you're not patient with yourself, you become discouraged.
Wow.
So you must learn to be patient with yourself, to run at your pace because of the resources that you have, because of the opportunities that are available to you. Work with yourself, be patient with yourself, grow with yourself first before you can grow with other people. So basically, but in rounding off, say first, self-discipline, personal values, and patient with yourself. Other things will come in, but this is key.
This is lovely. Thank you for that. And now I want to ask this question. This is also a very personal question. If you could mentor your younger version today, you could mentor your younger version, that's yourself. What wisdom would you share about longevity and relevance in leadership?
Personal responsibility.
Okay.
Take responsibility for your life. Personal responsibility for your life. Don't live a life of blaming people or blaming circumstances or blaming situation for not doing what you can do. I have a personal philosophy. I said, what my personal philosophy is, do what you can with what you have. Don't allow what you don't have to stop you doing from what you can. In other words, don't allow what you cannot do stop you from doing what you can. So if, as I'm mentoring anybody, I'm not going to tell, look, there's something you can do. No matter how small it is, just do it. Just do it. Just do it. And keep doing it. As you keep doing it, it keeps amplifying. So mentoring anybody first, personal responsibility. Don't live a life of blame. blaming the society. As I'm speaking to you right now, there's no electricity in my office. I can blame the whole government for it. And so what? Where you are, you have electricity. I don't have, as I'm speaking to you right now. So I can blame everybody for anything, but I have to make sure that whatever thing I can do, let me do it while I work for a better opportunity, better situations, and better circumstances. First, personal responsibility. Do what you can with what you have. You know, as I'm speaking to you now, they just brought light. You can see my face clearer. So, so this is where I live. All right. So
Okay.
that's the way. Do what you can with what you have, and then keep working for better situations, better opportunities. So that's it.
Oh, we really thank you for the sacrifice, even being part of today's interview, because and we understand those of you back in Africa, Nigeria, we understand what's going on. So I want to truly say thank you for the sacrifice you're doing to be part of this program today. So I want to ask this question: what kind of legacy do you hope to leave through Fled Leadership Institute and your bodies of work? You have several. What kind of leadership do you intend to leave behind?
Legacy, eh? The legacy that there was a young man Joseph, that came. He lived his full life, and then went home.
I like that.
Because your work will speak for you when you go. You don't have to speak it. What you did will speak for you. If you made impact, it will be seen. It will know. It will be. I mean, people talk about verifiable. So the legacy is a legacy of living by what you believe. Living by what you believe. If you believe it, then live it. You cannot believe it and you're not living it. So it's fake.
Oh, that is true.
And that's authenticity.
Thank you so much, sir. We truly appreciate that. So now I want to ask this question. You're celebrating, when are you celebrating your 30th anniversary?
We are celebrating the 30th anniversary in November, from November 12th to November 16th. Everyone join us live in Abuja. So many things to do. We have a symposium, anniversary symposium coming up on the November 12th. And then we have a women's conference coming up on November 14th. And have a dinner. Come to Abuja. We have an anniversary dinner taking place at Nikon Luxury Hotel here in Abuja. So I invite all of you guys. And most importantly, we are launching Fled Endowment Fund to enable access to funds to continue our work. This year is 30 years I have been on this work for full time. I'm 61 this year. So it's time for me to move a little bit. I'll be using my resources and all of that to do it. So we want to give people opportunity. And let me also tell you something. It might interest you to know that for 30 years we have done an NGO. We have never received funds from abroad to do our work. We have not been funded from anywhere around the world. We have generated our resources from the work that we do. It's not like most NGOs in Nigeria that they are donor based. We are not donor based. We depend on our social capital. We know you. You support us with your resources. That is how we've been doing. We generated social capital. People believe in us. People believe in our authenticity. So they can place their little resources in our hands and we use it to do what we do. So when people hear us big, we are not funded. So, but we have done that for years. We are now opening up opportunity for people who want to support our work through the endowment fund so that the work will continue as Son of Man begins to get older, so that the work will continue. So that's what we're part of the thing we are doing in our 30th anniversary. That November 12th is my 61st birthday. And I think I'm becoming an elder citizen now.
Congratulations. We thank God for your life. Before we go, we want to ask, what single message would you like to leave with viewers across the world? And because we're based in Europe here, the DRN School of Entrepreneurship, we have students across the world. And then we have the Fellowship of God's Ambassador, which is actually the parent body for the school. And because like most universities in the world, they are set up by Christian institutions, which most people don't know, Yale, Harvard, and the rest. Now, the DRA School of Entrepreneurship was set up by the Fellowship of God's Ambassadors. And so that is the parent body for that. And that is why we have the FEGOCAM TV, and then we have the DRN TV. And so we understand this. So we go across the United Kingdom, Europe, preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ, and we offer scholarship-based education to people across the world, especially people from developing nations. Because we believed one way you can help people to overcome poverty is through education. And that is what we do. So we provide a lot of scholarship, between 50 to 99% scholarship we give to people. And we're giving education worth £55,000, some worth £7,008, free scholarship based, to see how we can help people become financially free and create wealth and work across Africa and across the world at large. So we want to ask you, what do you want to say? Because I'm going to be reaching out to you later on and see how some of our students in Africa can see, those of them that may want to get a fellow in leadership, because I know you offer fellow in leadership and the rest of that, and we can see how we can partner with your institute. I know you're a man of, we have worked in the past back in Abuja, so I can tell of your integrity. I can vouch for you. That's the truth. I don't say that lightly on live broadcast this way, but you're someone I've come to know and I can vouch for. And your institute is as legitimate as any institute can be in the world. Your fellow is highly recognized. Maybe you likely share some of the people that are fellow of your institute, and so people will know that this is not a joke institute. So your institute is highly recognized globally. But while we do that, we're going to just let you market yourself and the institute now. You're just going to tell us what we need to know. The floor is yours. After this, I want to just come back and round up. So the floor is yours, sir. Have your say.
Thank you very much. There are two things I would like to say. Number one, we have FLED International Leadership Institute, which is a graduate leadership school, and established in 1999. And the good news is that just this week, we signed an affiliation with Africa University of Science and Technology, based in Abuja. Africa University of Science and Technology is one of the university networks of Nelson Mandela Network of Universities and Leadership Institutions in Africa. So we just signed an MOU for affiliation with them this week. So the institute is now ready to offer postgraduate programs in leadership in different areas. So that is very important for us. Now, anybody can go to our website. I'll put our website online here so that people can access it, can pick our courses. Now, that's for the Institute for Training. Then we have Africa Center for Public Leadership, which is a Pan-African membership organization promoting the principles and practices of transformational leadership. We have people who are fellows, who are honorary fellows, who are associate fellows, and all of that. We have from Uganda, from Nigeria, from Ghana, from most of our people are in UK. We have our fellows in UK, we have in the US. So anybody can go online, check the information, and apply. So
what is the site? Do you want to call the name of the site they can go? What is your site?
Yes, it's just flededu.org/induction. I'm typing it here. Can I type it?
Yeah, please do, please.
Yes, it's like flededu.org/induction. flededu.org/induction. So you get there, you get background information about how to be a member, and then apply for membership. It's so simple, it's not complex. All right, so that is for the membership. So you can apply. We have different categories of membership: honorary fellow, we have fellow, we have associate fellow, you have professional member, you have associate member, I have student member, you must be an undergraduate. So these are things you can be part of us. FLED Institute is big. The membership arm is the Africa Center for Public Leadership. As I said, it is a Pan-African professional membership organization. The commitment is to promote the principles and practice of transformational leadership in Africa, and also give opportunity for gender representation in public leadership in Africa. Giving opportunity for women to have access to public leadership without hindrances and without unnecessary gender pressure and gender dynamics. So, So those are the two things anybody can. FLED Institute is big. We thank God for it. As I said, we just got our affiliation with Africa University of Science and Technology, and then we are moving forward. Part of what is But this year, as I said, we are celebrating our 30th anniversary of the Global Flood Group Africa. 30
Wow.
years of work for us. So we want to
Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations.
whether you are in Canada, whether you are in Britain, whether you are in Europe, anywhere you are, can be part. It's a global community, and we are growing, expanding our membership, provided you are interested in the kind of values that we promote and that we stand for. So we thank you, everybody. We look forward to seeing you in our community, in our FLED leadership ecosystem.
Want to really say thank you, Professor Joseph, for coming on board today. And want to say what an inspiring section we have had today. A big thank you to, we can say a big thank you to Professor. Thank you so much for sharing such incredible insight, and to you, our global audience, for staying connected. We want to say thank you all. And we want everyone to know that at the Ambassador Show, our mission is to raise kingdom-minded professionals and entrepreneurs who are building enterprises that impact communities and expand God's kingdom. So if you would like to feature on the show, to share your story or to promote your business, reach out to us at theambassadors11@gmail.com or info@dron and .com.uk, info@dronacademy.uk, or you simply give us a call at +44758668 668 and or you send us a WhatsApp message. Let us just give us a summary of who you are, what you are doing for the kingdom, the business you are running, and we'll be glad to interview you and broadcast your story globally. It is our joy to see people create wealth, create work, and then advance God's kingdom while doing that. So don't forget to subscribe to FegoCamp TV on YouTube and the Darren TV for more impact stories. So next time, we're going to be meeting with more guests and more professionals that will be sharing their stories and their faith to help we also to activate us to be more productive in what God has called us to do. Once again, we want to say thank you, Professor Joseph, and you have a final word to say before we close. Do you have something you want to say to everyone?
I want to thank you for the opportunity to appear on your show, and I want to encourage you to keep doing that. Keep giving more people a platform to share their views, their values, the principles that sustain them, so that more and more of us will encourage each other. I also want to say that there's need for collaboration. This is the age of collaboration for leveraging implication of what we do, because none of us in our individual organizations can make it. So we need to find people we can trust across Atlantic, across Africa, around the world, so that more people who have the same values can work together and make greater impact. If we can work together, we make greater impact. So thank you for what you've done. We look forward to having more collaborations from around the world, and both for your organization and for every one of us to do much more in what we are doing. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much. So thank you. We call it a day. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. And we're going to be uploading this video on YouTube. And so we encourage everyone to go to FegoCamp TV, where you're going to get the video, watch live, and share to people across the world. We need to hear this story. We need to experience what we just heard today. So once you go, don't just click the like, comment, and share it across the world. Let people know that Christians are doing awesome things in the world. And we are truly stepping out to glorify God in our works, in our careers, and even in politics. So we bless everyone for joining us today. Do have a great day and stay blessed. We love you. But remember, you are an ambassador for Christ. Go and represent God in the corporate world. God bless you. We love you. My name is Oba Boniface Omozwapo, your host. Till we meet again for another edition. Bye for now. Good day, everyone. God bless you. Shalom, shalom. Bye for now. Thank you, sir.